Homesick today. There's a cat right there. UBba's there. I don't think he saw that cat. He's not the super observant dude. Come on. Come on. Get up in there. Hey you. How you doing, buddy? Good boy. Good boy, yeah. Turtles down there. Yeah, you like the rocks. Go get it. Good boy. Good boy. Hello, it is Saturday, March 9th. Holy cow, it's already March 9th. Little travel PT life update here. I just put in my 2 weeks of my current contract yesterday. I've been starting a Utah license and a Montana license. That's my plan is to go to one of those places next. Why I ended up putting that in is because, so you know, I don't know if I had said, but I had extended at my current contract here in San Antonio. I was working at in Shirts, an outpatient clinic there, and they ended up hiring a full-time staff member there to basically replace me, even though I had extended and was supposed to be there till May. And you know, we had talked about when I first extended and about staying until May, and they said, well, if the census drops, we might have you cover at the Northeast location, another clinic actually really close to where I live right now. And so I was like, all right, well, that's fine. Like, even if it's a bad clinic, it's less than 10 minutes away from my house. I can come home, check on the old pooch, and get back to work at lunch. It'll be a shorter commute, easy to go to the gym, lots of benefits there. So I was like, all right, yeah, if that happens, whatever. Then it was just brought up in a meeting one day, just random, like I wasn't told before. It was just like they mentioned they were hiring a full-time person there, and with that they're like, oh, so Steve won't be here anymore, he'll be at Northeast. And it was just like reading off a list. You know, and I think it was probably just because maybe it was an awkward conversation or whatever, but either way, I should have been told first, you know. And it was very obvious the rest of my coworkers already knew this. So it was kind of weird being the last one to know and then having it read off as a bullet point in a meeting and then just going off to the next topic. Like, oh, Steve's leaving. Yeah, that's too bad. And this year we need to focus on the budget with this, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, what? You know, I was planning on staying there till May, with the potential of maybe sometimes going to another clinic. And this is something, you know, that happens as a traveler. if you're somewhere, you're costing them more money, and they're really looking for someone who's going to stay there full time and is going to cost them less money. So that happens. I get it, but I didn't like how that was handled. Just like being read off like a bullet point. And then a couple weeks later, a Friday that I was off, I'd get an email saying, oh, and this plan is for Steve to start the second or third week at our downtown clinic. And so now it's a whole different clinic. And this isn't something I had ever agreed to or talked about. And it's reading it off as if like this was always the plan. And I was like, wait a minute. We had talked about the Northeast location. And they said, well, unfortunately, staffing needs change, so you're going to downtown. This was something I was never asked if I was okay with. This isn't where I interviewed to go. It was never mentioned when I first interviewed that you were going to be randomly signed to other places. And then, so I kind of took this as another sign, and then I get back to work, and then I have no clear end date. And then just one day I'm just looking on the schedule, and I see I'm not there 1 week. And I'm like, and I go to my boss, I'm like, hey, am I done on this date? And she's like, oh yeah. And again, just not being directly told when I'm done. So anyway, so then I knew what day I was leaving, and I was telling patients, oh, I'll be leaving after this week, and blah, blah, so I'm still here this next week. And then all of a sudden, my boss comes over and like, hey, did you look at your email? After hearing me tell one of the patients this, and I look at the email, and now they're like, oh, Steve will be here these days at downtown. And so I just started this last week, three days at the downtown location. So I started there a week earlier than was even planned. And, I get it, staffing needs change and whatever, but I'm not a floater. I didn't sign on as a floater. I never agreed to that. And, stuff like this can just sometimes happen with travel work, and I was kind of debating in my head, because now going into town from where I live, it's a shorter distance, but it's a longer drive. So I really hate the commute. I just really don't like how this was whole handled, and the fact that I was never asked if I'm okay with these changes, and I was never the first one to know, especially with the first time. It was very clear the rest of my coworkers knew before me, and it was just read off like it was like a check mark, like a bullet point on a sheet. So anyway, though, on Friday I put in my 2 weeks. I put in my 2 week notice, and that's something that's built in my contract. And that's for if the facility doesn't like me, they can put in a 2 week notice, and if I don't like them, I can put in a 2 week notice. So it's always a risk you got to run. And then since they've been sort of handling me as though I'm just some interchangeable cog that they can move around without even telling, then I'm just going to look at it like a job that right now I'm not enjoying, and I'm going to go somewhere else. I've seen most of the things I want to in San Antonio. I still want to bike to all the missions. But as far as there's nothing major as far as hiking or stuff I haven't seen yet that I want to do. And I really just I was really just comfortable where I was working. Didn't love it, didn't hate it. Really, I liked my coworkers. We weren't like seeing each other outside of work or anything now. And I like I have a lot of space here for UBba to run around outside. And so I was just comfortable, and I was ready to just wait until May. But I have been ready and wanting to go somewhere else. I'm ready to get out of this big city and ready to do something else. And so I'm taking this as a sign. I'm taking this as a sign that I'm supposed to move on. And I feel bad that they have this need, and that I'm sure to give them a short notice and just going. But that's how they've been treating me. And so in that regard, I don't feel bad. I feel a lot better now that I've decided this, and it's kind of off the cuff now. What I'm going to do is am I going to start the next job soon? Am I going to have to take a couple weeks off, go back home? Am I going to be able to just drive to wherever my next assignment's at? I don't know, but this is thankfully because of my pay, and then I have a stable home back in Pennsylvania that I can always go to. I'm very thankful that I have options, and I can really go a couple different routes, and I'll be all right. So, and that's right now, you know, the places I've felt essential, I've almost thought about staying, and it was a real battle for me to leave. And the places where I'm treated like a cog, you know, I look at them like a cog. And you know, I've been feeling good here. Again, I didn't want to live here though and stay here, but I was definitely down to stay until May. And then once I started being treated like this, you know, my mentality slowly started to change. And yeah, I'm still going to go into work and give it my 100% like I do, trying to stay motivated. And if anything, I'm a little more motivated now to stay upbeat, knowing that I'm not just going to be stuck here for another 3 months, dealing with driving into city traffic. So yeah, but life is going. UBba is growing here. He had another little bout of diarrhea the other day, so I had to clean out his crate. But the boy is probably 30 pounds, maybe even more now. He was 27 pounds last week. But what a lovely little dog. I'm so lucky to have him. And I mean, I've worked a lot of time training with him and stuff, but he's a good boy too. So right now we're gonna go to the park, run around some, get the groceries and stuff, and then hopefully get some crap out of him so I can go to the gym and don't have to worry about him shitting in the house while I'm gone, shitting in his crate while he's gone. But yeah, let's get to it. Got a new accessory for Guadalupe here. I miss the mountains, and obviously from Utah and Montana, you know, I miss the mountains too. And I want to go back there. And you like leaves, don't you, boy? Don't you, boy? And here's the dog that likes to bark at me as I drive by. He just likes to bark at the truck. He'll bark at me sometimes, but it's really just the car. You can see UBba's a little indifferent about it.
Enjoy the weather.
Have a goodie. Get your toy. Get your toy. Get your toy, you little bastard boy. Yeah. Alright, hold this. Here. Good boy. Big ass turtle there. This is a baby turtle, I guess, here. Look at his little shell. Lizard there. Set him down closer to the water here. Oh, look at it. There's a herring right there. Look at it. It's my last weekend here in San Antonio before I start making my way west into Texas and up to Logan, Utah for my next contract here. I'm taking up on a hike here in Canyon Lake Park. It's like something M trail. I forget what. But that's what we're on now. A little spooky here. You want to go down there, huh? You want to go down that? Why don't we do it? Good boy. Good boy. It's only like 70 degrees out, but in the sun, UBba just cooks. It's a black, long-haired dog. See, mixed feelings about the water right now. He has some flashbacks to when he was scared, and I think he's also really liking being wet and cooled up. Let's try dunk. You, come here. Come here, you. Watch this. Oh, gotcha. Get the stick. Go ahead, go get it. Go get it. Get it, boy, get it. Good boy. Back up from down there. Go free. Some sticks there, but it's weird, huh? It's weird how these sticks are, huh? Yeah, good boy. Get it. Get it, good boy. Come here. Come here. Good boy.